Hey everyone, it's Nicole McGork with another Scrap It Weekly, and this week I am showcasing a layout where I have scrapbooked our Christmas card that we send out to friends and family. So here are the supplies I'm using. This week I'm going to be sharing a page layout that I'm going to create for the Christmas cards that we send out as a family every year. A couple weeks ago I shared my album where I shared layouts from the Christmas cards from our friends and family that we receive every year, and in a separate album I keep the cards that we actually send out. I'm not going to share it today because I'm sorely behind in that album, whereas I'm almost caught up in my other one. Eventually I will share some of the layouts from that one. You've probably seen them here and there either on my blog or in videos in the last couple of years if you follow me at all. But I need to probably share that just as a collective whole one of these days once I get a few more pages done. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through, I'm going to kind of create a patchwork background, I think, today for my page. And I want to create a kind of bright and fun, non-traditional colored layout. So I'm going to go more for the aqua blues and pinks and reds. So I pulled out all of the paper, I guess I should start with, is from the Studio Calico Brooklyn Flea kit from a few months back. So I've got this kind of aqua pretty cardstock here that I pulled out. This is from the Crepe Paper Random Collection. It's a really nice red houndstooth with a black and white chevron on the back. I'm not sure which side I'll use there, maybe a little of both. I have some red cardstock as well. I did pull out this October Afternoon Sarsaparilla paper. It's got all these alphabets and stuff, which I thought might make a nice cut a little piece of it for the background, maybe, we'll see. Then from the My Mind's Eye 12 Days of Christmas, this really pretty red and white. I'm going to use the red. From Crepe Paper, this is the Peppermint Collection, this great red background paper that has like the whole 'Twas the Night Before Christmas throughout the entire paper, but it's really cute cut down into pieces as well. I've used this for some other projects. I really like that. Some pink cardstock. I did pull out this paper from October Afternoon that has all these like vintage button card things on it. I've already cut some of it off. I thought it might be fun to tuck one of these onto the page, maybe with some buttons sewn on it. I don't know if I will do that or not. I just pulled it out because I liked it. Then this Happy Days paper from the Echo Park Happy Days collection that's aqua and turquoise striped. And then from My Mind's Eye 12 Days of Christmas, I can't talk today, this really pretty aqua with like a little snowflake, modern snowflake looking. So these are the papers I've pulled out. I'm going to be creating something kind of like this. I kind of just sketched this out quickly. I'm going to be die cutting some elements and layering them from Carrie Bradford for my title and for embellishment. And then I'm just going to kind of create a patchwork from pattern paper. So this is a really rough sketch. I don't really know how much I will adhere to that or stick to it. Also from the Brooklyn Flea kit, I pulled out all these tapes. I'm not sure if I'll use those or not, but I pulled them out because they're pretty and in the right colors. Some buttons, some random buttons I have left over from the kit, from things I didn't use, and the add-ons. So I have all of these that I might tuck here and there, and also some of their tissue scrap. I was especially thinking this aqua I might use somewhere or in some of the layering. So let's get started putting the page together today. So I'm just going to quickly go really fast through trimming all of my paper and things, and I'm just cutting a bunch of strips, and I ended up kind of switching things up just a little bit. I cut some little smaller pieces here, you can see, and I end up changing that as I work on it. The thing with creating kind of a patchwork background like I'm doing here today is it's a little bit trial and error, but here's kind of how it's coming together after I moved things around and trimmed papers down and things like that. And I think that this is one of those techniques that looks better the more that you get put together. It looks a little funny until you have all of your papers in place and have everything exactly where you want it. So I'm just going to finish adhering all of this stuff. You can see that some of it is hanging off of the edges, and that is okay. Until I have everything just exactly where I want it, I'm going to just leave it hanging off, and then I can trim it all at one time. So I'm going to just trying to get this lined up. For some reason, this strip over here on the right side of the page was giving me fits, getting it on there nice and straight, and still giving me fits. So now I'm just simply cutting off any of the extra so that I have nice clean edges. And there is what my background looks like. Now I am die cutting a bunch of elements to use on my page. And this is where this design really comes together. I'm just adhering all of my base pieces. Now I did mist, and I didn't videotape that simply because I just misted it with some Studio Calico Mr. Huey ink. But I have die cut all of my pieces using Carrie Bradford kits, and then I have cut them from 2 different colors of cardstock, all of the pieces here, except for that background polka dot piece that you can see cut out of the light blue cardstock that I layered over the black and white chevron design pattern paper. I have cut the other elements out of 2 colors because I love the look of layering my designs so that it gives it a little bit of a shadow and it really makes it pop. And I've had a lot of questions recently about that and asking if I offset it, do I make the shadow image a little bit larger? And the answer is no, I don't. I could probably figure out how to do that, but I'm very a lazy scrapbooker, and so I like to just cut it the same size, and then when I adhere it, I just kind of slightly move it over a little bit just to give it that illusion of a shadow. It doesn't really have a shadow all the way around the design by doing it this way. But I really have found over time that I like this look a lot. You see it a lot on my scrapbook pages simply because I think that this gives your die cuts much more depth and dimension, and I really like that. So here's my little reindeer from one of Carrie's kits, and I've just cut him out of cardstock and all different colors of cardstock, and I just used some gemstones for his eyes instead of the die cuts. You could cut those out as well, but I just thought it would be fun to add some really cute little black gems there, and I'm going to tie a little bit of silk ribbon around his neck. All of these things kind of help dress up your die cuts as well. Gives them a little bit more of a pre-made look, I would say, more finished and polished. I also spritzed him with a little bit of the Studio Calico Mr. Huey white mist. For the 2002 over there on the left side of the page, cut out of the light blue cardstock, I misted it with both clay and white Mr. Huey ink. The clay is just a really subtle kind of, I find it a great color for distressing. I use it all the time. The clay and the white are my 2 most used mists out of any of them that I have. I'm just going to adhere this little holly that I cut out, and again, instead of cutting out the holly berries from like red cardstock or whatever, I'm going to use gemstones for those to kind of finish off the little look there at his neck. So there is my one of my embellishments for the page. And now I simply have a few additional details to adhere, and I'm going to add just a few extra things that really finish off the design. This little word bubble sticker from Bella Boulevard I think is really cute. And then I was thinking I might use this blue and white stripe, and then I decided not to use it, so I'm going to put that back. Every once in a while, this is one of those pages that kind of was a work in progress, and it had a little bit of adhesive here, so I'm going to move or get rid of that real quick. This is a little die cut from Jelly Bean Soup, and I'm just going to tuck that under one of the layers. I like it says Christmas Tradition. And just by tucking little bits and pieces and layering, it really brings the design of this page all together. This is a little piece of that tape that I showed at the beginning of the layout. I'm just going to trim that and tuck the ends underneath the other papers. Kind of clean that up a little bit. So if you look at each of the little blocks on this kind of quilt background, I guess I would call it, as individual pieces, then you just kind of embellish each block individually, and then the whole design as a whole is really nice and cohesive. I think this is a fun way to create a page. I'm going to do more of these. I think it's kind of fun. So I'm going to finish off my page with a few additional dimensional embellishments now, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to use more than one button, and I'm going to just go with the one. Now I took some of this pleated ribbon from Stampin' Up! And tucked it underneath the edge and sewed it in place. I really love the look of that pleat sticking out from underneath one of the layers. I'm going to punch a half circle from the black and cream chevron design paper, and I'm going to adhere it kind of down at the bottom. And I'm sorry that my hand is out of focus there. I just used my fingernail to kind of distress the edge of that half circle, and then I'm going to adhere it right over the little piece down at the bottom of the page. And unfortunately, I forgot to move my page up or zoom my camera out. And then I just added a little 7 Gypsies metal embellishment there. I have another sticker from Jelly Bean Soup that I'm going to stick underneath my date. And that is it. I sewed some buttons in place and the page is finished. For more information on this layout, please visit my blog at www.nicholemcgurk.typepad.com on February 15th, 2012. Thanks for watching.